Hey everyone, I'm Sian and welcome back to Crystal Clear Tarot. Today we're exploring a card that so many of us have lived through, the Ten of Wands. If you've ever felt like you're carrying everything alone, if you've pushed yourself past your own limits because you care, or you're trying so hard to reach a dream that's become heavier than you expected, then this card is speaking directly to you. So grab a drink and let's dive into it. The Ten of Wands is the story of responsibility, pressure, commitment, and the weight of seeing something through to the finishing line. It's that final stretch where the goal is close, but the journey has taken a toll. In the Rider-Waite-Smith image, we see a man bent forward, struggling to carry 10 large wands in his arms. His body is hunched, his steps are heavy, and he can't even see the road ahead of him because the weight he's carrying is blocking his vision. But if you look in the distance, you'll notice a village. That village represents completion and homecoming. The moment when the journey ends and rest is finally possible. He is almost there. The 10 wands in his arms represent everything that we carry. Our responsibilities, the promises we offer, work, emotional weight, and sometimes the burdens we didn't actually need to take on in the first place. What began as passion and enthusiasm, the spark that we see in the Ace of Wands, has now become pressure. This is what happens when fire, the element of wands, burns for too long without being replenished. Fire can inspire us, energize us, and give us purpose and drive. But when it burns unchecked, it exhausts us. It consumes the fuel faster than we can replace it. The Ten of Wands is the moment where passion has turned into exhaustion. The number 10 in numerology represents the end of a cycle, the closing of one chapter and standing on the threshold of the next. It is completion, but completion isn't always light. Sometimes the ending requires that last heavy push, the last effort before we can finally exhale. So what does the Ten of Wands mean when it shows up in a reading? It often means that you've taken on a lot, maybe more than you needed to. You might be trying to handle everything by yourself. You might be carrying emotional or physical labour for others. Or you may be pushing through and telling yourself that if you just keep going a bit longer, everything will just fall into place. And the card acknowledges your strength. It acknowledges your endurance. But it also reminds you that you don't have to do this alone. This is a moment to prioritise and to simplify, to let go of tasks, responsibilities, or expectations that are draining you. And most importantly, to ask for help. Because real strength isn't proven by how much we can carry. Real strength is knowing when to put something down. The Ten of Wands also invites us to reconnect with our why. When we forget the passion, the meaning, or the purpose that inspired us in the first place, everything becomes heavier. When you remember why you began, the load becomes lighter, even if nothing has changed. When the Ten of Wands appears reversed, there are usually two possibilities. You may be in the process of releasing old burdens, learning to set boundaries, and saying no when you're used to saying yes, and letting go of the weight that never belonged to you. Or it may be pointing to burnout, the moment where your body, your heart, and your spirit simply says, I can't carry this anymore. In that case, the message is very clear. Pause, rest, and reassess. And ask yourself, is this truly mine to carry? If the answer is no, then it's time to lighten the load. The Ten of Wands teaches us that dedication is admirable and hard work has value, but you are allowed to care for yourself along the way. You're allowed to lighten the load and to rest, and you are much closer to the goal than you realise. Thank you so much for joining me today in this deep dive. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you'd like to support my channel, please like and subscribe. It truly helps this community grow. I'm Sian and this is Crystal Clear Tarot, sending you clarity, strength and the reminder that you don't have to carry everything alone. I'll see you in the next video.